Chris here, and today we have my February 2023 Magickal and Mundane monthly mentions. So, my version of a favorites video. And we are going to chat about memories and magic that I've been doing, as well as any new tarot decks, books, movies and TV, and YouTube videos I've been watching. So we're going to start off with memories for the month. The most exciting memory that I have from February is that my husband got a new job. And this is wonderful. If you remember last month, this is kind of where my magic practice has been centered around, trying to find him a new job that he would enjoy more than the current position that he was in. He starts tomorrow from his new position, and he's very excited. And it does impact our whole lives because it's about an hour and 15 minutes from where we currently live. So if we didn't move, that would be one hell of a commute. So we are in the midst of trying to find a new place, which is where my magic focus is going to be this month. So some other really awesome memories that I had in February were I got a really great massage. I got a Christmas present of a gift card from my boss, and so I finally put that to use and got an amazing massage. I was able to go and get dinner with a friend that I hadn't seen in quite some time, and that was really fun. I missed her a lot. One of the other major things that happened was I had an intake with my new therapist. I really like her and I'm super excited to get to start working with her. We've already had our first official session and we're going to be seeing each other weekly moving forward for the next few months. So I'm very excited to see what is going to happen with that. Next up, let's chat about ritual and magic focus. In February, I continue doing deity, shadow, and inner child work. Those parts of my practice are kind of really taking off, and I've had some very intense readings. So that has been really cool. I also did more magic surrounding my husband's career, and awesomely, he got the job. Now that that part of the spell work has kind of completed itself, the next focus for me, as far as my spell work and things like that go, I'm going to be focused on trying to find a great place to live. We are having a bit of a problem just trying to locate something that really works for us. We do have a husky, so that makes it a little bit more challenging. But hopefully, I'm gonna kind of put my magic behind that, and hopefully that'll fall into place just like his job did. I also started working on something that my cousin and I are deeming cousin coven, which is just the two of us kind of getting together on a monthly, semi-monthly basis and chatting about different areas of our practice and doing some spell work and ritual work together. I'm excited to see, what we learn and just kind of how that takes shape and what comes of it. The first official get together is going to be for Astara, and I'm really excited to see what happens with that. So let's chat about my newest tarot deck. This is actually going to be the deck that we are going to flip through because I'm working with it exclusively in March. So this is the Modern Hue Tarot, which is basically a watercolor version of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I was very excited to get it, and I'm very excited to work with it, and I can't wait to show you guys a more in-depth look at all of the cards. Next, let's chat about the books that I read in February. So again, prefacing this with, I am not a booktuber. February was a pretty light month for me. I was extremely busy with all of the other stuff going on, so I didn't have a chance to read as much as I normally do. I got through 2 books and I started 3 other ones. I am the kind of person who reads multiple books at once. So I was able to read and finish Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert, which I really liked. I know I'm really late to the bandwagon on this one because everyone read this book, I don't know, 15 years ago, whenever it came out. But I finally got around to it and I really loved it. It kind of inspired me to start planning to travel to different places that I haven't been yet. So yeah, it was really good. The other book that I read, which I wholeheartedly recommend, was Despair by Prince Harry. I am not a person who is really into kind of the royal family and all of that crazy drama and stuff. I just see what I see randomly on the internet or on CNN or whatever. And because of that, I didn't know too much about the whole situation, but I was really interested after watching the documentary on Netflix. But the book was really, really good. It really told a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I had no idea about before. So I thought that was really interesting. And I really love Meghan. So I am a big fan of Suits. But yeah, it was a really good book. Definitely recommend. I started a few different books. So I started Psychic Witch by Matt Auryn, which has been on my TBR for about forever. But my therapist recommended that I start it because it has a lot of really good techniques in it for fighting anxiety and depression and like meditation. And like it has a lot of exercises that I can do that will help in my mental health journey as well. So I went ahead and started the first chapter of Psychic Witch. I also made it about halfway through entering Hekate's Cave by Cyndi Brannen, which has been really, really good so far. If you like her books and you're interested in studying about Hekate at all, I highly recommend checking this one out. And then finally, I started I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston, which has been really good so far. She wrote Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is a really great gay rom-com story. It's actually being made into a movie. I think it's coming out through Amazon. But I've read a couple of different things by her, and I really liked all of them. So I highly suggest, if that's your thing, checking it out, because so far this one has not disappointed at all. Then let's talk about movies and TV. So I did not go to a lot of movies this past month just because it has been a bit crazy around here. But I will say that I watched Eat, Pray, Love after I finished reading the book, and I did watch the movie before, but it was nice to have a little bit more background when watching it this time, knowing like what happens in the book. And books are always so much more fleshed out. So that was good. I continued watching Grace and Frankie. I caught up fully on Young Rock, so we are, current with the season. My husband and I started a rewatch of How I Met Your Mother, with the caveat that we can only watch the alternate ending where they don't kill off Ted's wife, because, sorry, spoiler alert, but if you haven't watched it at this point, are you gonna? Um, because I hated that. That was the worst ending to any like show like that I've ever watched. It was so disappointing. So the caveat was I would do the rewatch if we watched just the alternate ending and not the garbage that they presented us when we were watching it initially. So we started that. I also caught up on a show called My Life is Murder. So I subscribed to Acorn, which is like, I don't know, I think it's a channel in like New Zealand, Australia, or somewhere in Europe. I don't know. But the show stars Lucy Lawless, and I am a huge Xena fanatic. So it was really cool. It's really cool to get to see her in a completely different character. But this is the third, they call them series instead of seasons, but it's the third Americanized season. Um, so I've finished that. Really good, and that's kind of what I've been watching. And then let's talk about YouTube videos finally. There were 4 videos in February that I really loved. I thought that they were just kind of top notch, definitely ones that I would recommend for other people to check out. Jessica and the Moon did a video, I can't remember the exact title of it, but it was about the goal setting process and like how we can like set goals that are actually good for us and able to be attained and not kind of outlandish. But it was definitely, if you're any bit of a planner or goal setter, I definitely recommend checking that one out. I'll link that one below as well. Another YouTuber that I watch and adore is Mama Dr. Jones. And she did this video on hilarious sex ed fails. And it had me cracking up. It was just so funny. It's definitely not witchy content. It's definitely not tarot content, but it's a good time. It will definitely give you the giggles. I also watched a video called 20 plus Goodnotes tips and tricks by Flourish Planner. So I use my iPad for everything. I digitally plan, I digitally journal, I use notebooks, I use Goodnotes for like everything. And if I'm not using Goodnotes, I use Notion. So all of my stuff, my planners, my journals, everything is in is on my iPad. And I thought that this video was really good. It had some really interesting tips and tricks if you do a lot of digital work. So if you use your iPad, if you use GoodNotes and that kind of thing, this video has a lot of really good tips and tricks for planning with GoodNotes. The last video that I would highly recommend everyone to watch is AnnMaddox did a video called Witches Should Expect Respect. And it was a really amazing video about how and why witches deserve respect just as much as any other type of religion or type of spiritual practice that there is. It was very touching and well thought out, but it brought a lot of points to the surface that I have had struggles with in the past. And it's nice to hear someone affirm that you deserve to be treated with respect and dignity, even though you're not subscribed to Christianity or Judaism or, a commonplace religion, even being an atheist, like any of that. Like your spiritual practice and your journey deserves just as much respect as anyone else's. And I think we often fail to give ourselves that respect or even believe that we actually deserve it. So it's a really good video and I definitely recommend checking it out. If you subscribe to the moniker of witch, if you are, if you call yourself a witch or you have a spiritual practice that is even remotely in alignment with something like that, I definitely recommend checking out this video and just soaking in the words and the things that she says about why you should be respected as much as anyone else. And even though it's kind of short, that is it for this video. Those were my February 2023 Magickal and Mundane monthly mentions. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I'd love to have you around, and leave a comment below and let me know what your highlights are from this past month. Thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.